Hello everybody and welcome to Tom's Confessional Box, where today I'm going to confess to flooding another building, although it wasn't particularly my fault, nor the chap who was working with. It wasn't his fault either. It was an operation where the planning went slightly wrong, but with devastating circumstances. So, we was working in a building. Now, here's a little clip of the building we're working in. So you can get an idea of where we're working. This is the building that we're working in here. And you can see we're surrounded by lots of water. And it's a famous pub in Wigan because of the name, George Orwell. They made that pub in Wigan because he wrote a review of Wigan back in the, I don't know what it was, many moons ago. He came to Wigan and he said he didn't have a good word to say about anything. So Wigan has been what they are. They decided to build a pub in honour of him, you know. So that's why the pub was named the George Orwell. Although it's not running now, back in the day when we was working in it, it was quite busy, which would be about 1995, I would suspect, something like that. So our job in there was to move a water sprinkler main, which was a 2-inch galvanised pipe. Now I had with me a pipe fitter. Malk, his name was, a very nice bloke. Too nice really. He never swore. He was a Jehovah's Witness, and he would never swear. If he hit his thumb, you know, if a plumber hits his thumb, all sorts of comes out of his mouth. But Malk would say, "Flipping heck, I've hit my thumb. Oh, flipping, flopping, flipping, flip, flipping, flapping, flip." Never ever swore. But I suppose that's to his credit. There's no need to swear, is there? But he's a very experienced and a very good pipe fitter. Now he'd looked all over the building for a stop valve to turn it off, to isolate it, while I was setting up the equipment, because the pipe that we're working on is at the ceiling height, about 10 feet high. So we've got the scaffolding, you know, the aluminium tower stuff. So I'm setting the tower up. I've got a grinder there to cut it, and he was using this threader, because you've got to, with galvanised iron, you've got to cut it, then you've got to put a thread on it, and then put a gate valve on. So we've got all that ready. I'd made all that ready while he's looking for the stop tap, and he's looked high and low in all the manholes he could think of going on, and there just wasn't one there. So we phoned the boss and said, "Look, we can't isolate this." So he suggested freezing it. So I didn't realise you could freeze such a big pipe, but they sent some industrial stuff down, which was a cylinder, I think it was CO2, but I'm not sure, it could have been something else. Then you put a big sleeve around this pipe, set it all up, turn it on, and we followed the instructions to the T. And it worked, because we rolled out the hose pipe, you know, that's just attached there, put it on, no water came out. So we thought it's worked. So we got on the scaffolding, got the grinder out and cut through the 2-inch galvanised pipe, and then put another thing in, so we've room to space to move in. And he puts the threader on. It's a little hand threader. You put it on the pipe, you clamp it, and it starts to make thread. And then the next thing, there's a core of ice about this long. Hits the wall, bushuk. And then some pumps kicked in action. We heard them, and there was a tremendous amount of water coming into this room. What had happened? So pumps had kicked in. Pumps, what was suspected, well, we knew at a later date, was this pump room. Well, it wasn't that particular pump room itself, but one very similar. And when them get hold of the water, they were taking the water out of the canal just outside. Now, in relation to the canal, we were a little bit lower than the canal because we're in a cellar. So all that water's coming in this room what we're in at an alarming rate, something similar to this. And this is the sort of thing you can expect when them pumps kick in. Well, we was there. And Malk, being who he was, the great bloke that he was, he's on the thing, and it's the water is hitting this wall and bouncing back at us, and he says, no, we must get this valve on, we must get this valve on. But then the water in the room had come about a foot high. It had come over the electrics that we're working on, blew all the fuses. And then I noticed that there's a door. I said, Malk, if we don't get out that door, sharpish, we won't get out because there's no windows. If that door shuts, we're dead. So I jumped off the scaffolding and opened the door. I said, come on, Malk, get out, let's go. And he realised we had to get out then, or who knows what happened. But because it's a commercial building, anything that works like that is connected to the fire engine, the fire station, and within 5 minutes the fire engine was there. And they knew exactly where to go to switch the pumps off. You know, what Malk had searched for all morning, and nobody else knew, nobody else could tell him. They went straight to it. So the moral of that story is, phone the fire brigade first, they'll tell you how to turn the water off.